Welcome to this week's Memory Monday. This is the first week of our exclusive 8-week guide to transforming your diet and supercharging your cognitive function. This week, we'll focus on learning to read labels and swapping sneaky sugars for healthier options. As you start reading labels, you'll notice sugar is added to nearly everything. Sugar, particularly added sugar, gets a bad rap for a good reason. While our bodies need some sugar for energy, excessive intake can wreak havoc on our health and well-being in multiple ways. The first is weight gain and obesity. Added sugar is often calorie dense with little nutritional value. Consuming it regularly contributes to excess calorie intake, leading to weight gain and obesity over time. Obesity, in turn, increases the risk of numerous chronic diseases like heart disease, diabetes, and certain cancers. The next is metabolic problems. High sugar intake overwhelms the body's insulin production, leading to insulin resistance. This impairs the body's ability to regulate blood sugar, increasing the risk of prediabetes and type 2 diabetes. Insulin resistance also contributes to fatty liver disease, a condition where fat accumulates in the liver, affecting its function. Number 3 is increased inflammation, which is a hallmark of Alzheimer's disease. Sugar triggers chronic inflammation in the body, linked to various health problems like heart disease, arthritis, and even Alzheimer's disease. Chronic inflammation weakens the immune system, making you more susceptible to infections and illnesses. Number 4, poor gut health. Consuming excess sugar disrupts the gut microbiome, promoting the growth of bad bacteria and reducing the good ones. This imbalance can lead to digestive issues like bloating, gas, and constipation. Gut health is also linked to mood, immunity, overall well-being, and your gut health, surprisingly, has a direct impact on the brain. So neglecting it can have far-reaching consequences. Number 5 is energy crashes and cravings. Sugar provides a quick burst of energy followed by a crash as blood sugar levels plummet. This leads to fatigue, cravings for more sugar, and difficulty maintaining energy levels throughout the day. Breaking the sugar cycle by reducing intake can help stabilize blood sugar and improve energy levels. And finally, mental health. Studies suggest a link between high sugar intake and increased risk of depression, anxiety, and cognitive decline. This may be due to the effects of sugar on neurotransmitters and brain function. Also, a lesser known fact, but now beginning to make headlines, new research published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine suggests that consuming excessive amounts of sugar can activate reward pathways in the brain in a way similar to addictive substances, potentially leading to a dependence and withdrawal symptoms in some individuals. It is thought that sugar can actually be as addictive as cocaine. Cutting out sugar can cause cravings, binges, and withdrawals, like a drug addict going cold turkey. The food industry knows this, and that is why they put sugar in pretty much everything. They want you to keep on coming back for more. So why am I talking about sugar when tonight's topic is about reading labels? Because if you look at labels, sugar is hidden in everything. Does anyone know the maximum grams of sugar we're supposed to consume a day?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Is it like 20 or something?
It's close to 20 for women. Men are only supposed to consume 36 grams a day of sugar, and women are only supposed to have about 25 grams a day. So, but this week when we read labels, I want you to write down exactly how much sugar you're usually consuming in a day. You can just do this one day of the week, kind of pay attention.
Yeah.
But how much you're actually consuming. Don't change the way you eat just yet. Just read the labels and keep track. It will open your eyes. You'll be surprised. It's not unusual to exceed 100 grams of sugar a day with all the hidden sugars that Americans consume. When I actually did it 3 years ago, I was exceeding 100 grams every day. Remember, it's not about completely eliminating sugar from your diet because your body does need some sugars. The key is to be mindful of your intake and focus on natural sugars from fruits and vegetables. See, there you go. Okay. Opting for whole, unprocessed foods that will naturally reduce your sugar intake while providing essential nutrients for optimal health and well-being. This does not mean you can never have a candy bar or a cake. This is just about being aware and choosing your sugar intake wisely. So instead of having dessert or candy bar every day, maybe choose a specific day each week that you allow yourself to enjoy one.
And moderation, I mean.
Moderation is the key
Yeah.
to get you where you want to be.
Yeah.
So the term sugar does not always scream from the labels. Looking at the picture on the right, it's obvious that these foods are loaded with sugar. However, did you know that sugar is hidden in potato chips, crackers, soups, condiments, fast food, even grilled chicken sandwiches at some fast food restaurants? This picture on the left is just an image, so I'm unsure if that picture actually contains sugar in the chicken. But I did pull the ingredients list off the grilled boneless chicken sandwich of one of the fast food chains. And for purposes of not getting sued, I'm not going to name which one it is, but if I found it online, you guys could too. And it does contain sugar. So this is the ingredient list for the boneless, skinless chicken breast fillet with rib meat. It has dextrose, maltodextrin, and dextrose. I mean, dextrose was listed 3 times. That's
Wow.
sugar. So, I mean, which is
Yeah, but
crazy
people
that
don't look.
well, and
People don't
nobody's
look.
gonna pull it up online. They assume it's healthy,
Yeah.
but they add it in there and it tastes good, so you keep going back and getting more. So
Yeah.
that's that nice little marketing ploy that they do. So,
Interesting.
yeah. Sugar often dons disguises like high fructose corn syrup, brown rice syrup, agave nectar, or even fruit juice concentrate. Eatingwell.com has a list of over 65 names of sugar found on an ingredients list, which I put on a PDF and I'll send you in an email after tonight's presentation, but will also be included in the Memory Monday archives download button for tonight's topic. So 65 different names for sugars. So that
Wow.
way they can hide them easier.
Yeah. Wow.
Because people aren't going to look at them or they will have no clue what it is. So all these aliases make it a detective game to truly understand the sugar content of foods that we do consume.
Interesting.
Yeah, sugar is everywhere from your morning yogurt to your evening salad dressing. Sugar has infiltrated an astonishing array of processed foods, condiments like ketchup, sauces, breakfast cereals, snacks, and even some seemingly healthy options like granola bars can contain excessive amounts of sugar. So, sugar's appeal to our taste bud isn't lost on the food industry. Companies cleverly manipulate our cravings by adding just enough sugar to make their products palatable, but not so much that they scream sugar. So, this week, when we read labels, I want you to pay attention to the following. There's 5 things here: the serving size, because food labels often list sugar content by serving, but those portions can be ridiculously small, making it easy to underestimate your actual intake. A seemingly low sugar granola bar might be packed with sugar if you eat the whole bar, because sometimes one bar is labeled as 3 servings.
Oh, seriously? Oh,
Yeah.
that's
I actually went to the store and looked at a couple of them, and most of them were just the 1 bar, but some of them were 3 servings for 1 bar, which was
Jesus.
ridiculous. Yeah. So then you'd have to multiply the sugar grams, because if you
I
eat
just
plant-based eating the
never
whole
assumed that would be 3 you know what I mean?
yeah, you would assume it's 1, and it's not.
Mhm.
I mean, for the most part, most of them probably are, but there are rare occasions. So you kind of have to compare.
Yeah.
The next thing besides serving size I want you to look at is the ingredient list. Sugar often hides toward the bottom of the ingredient list, downplaying its prominence in the product. And then also the 65 different names, you can kind of look at them so you can kind of get familiar with the different names of sugar, so you have an easier chance of spotting it.
Yeah.
The next is misleading marketing terms. So phrases like low fat or natural can create a false sense of health despite the product potentially being loaded with hidden sugars. Phrases like no sugar added can be tricky. They might mean there's no refined sugar, but other sweeteners could be hiding. Always scrutinize the ingredients list, not just the front of the package. We also need to be aware of sugar substitutes, because sometimes when there's no sugar added, they throw the sugar substitutes in, and most substitutes are bad for our brain and our gut. So when we look at the ingredients list, we need to focus on mainly the first 5 ingredients, These make up the bulk of the product, so prioritize labels where natural whole foods come first. Watch out for sugars in disguise hiding under different names like high fructose corn syrup, agave nectar, or even fruit juice concentrate. Learn to identify red flags. Ingredients you cannot pronounce or long chemically sounding names are often signs of processed additives, including hidden sugars. So I say if you can't pronounce it, you probably don't want to eat it.
Yeah.
The next one is befriend the less is more principle. Learn, let's see, shorter ingredients lists generally indicate less processing and healthier options. And the serving size again. Serving sizes are often unrealistic and underestimate how much we actually eat. So don't fall for the trap. Pay attention to the recommended serving size, but be honest with yourself about how much you actually are going to consume. Compare apples to apples when comparing similar products. Like I said, if you're looking at the different granola granola bar packages, see the same size. If one is 3 servings or one is 1 serving, so you kind of want to look at the ingredients list and kind of just compare, because if it's 3 servings, you're going to have to triple the sugar content and the sodium content, and so kind of just have to be looking for that. Beyond the label, over time, our bodies can become so accustomed to the constant sugar influx, leading to cravings and making it harder to resist sugary foods. Remember, we said sugar is kind of as addictive as cocaine. Breaking the cycle requires consistent effort and a shift toward whole unprocessed foods. So understanding the different names for sugar and the tactics used by food companies empowers us to make informed choices. Sharing this knowledge with others can create a ripple effect of healthier eating habits. Have you go to your pantry and grab a box and let's look at the label.
Okay, so Miracle Whip.
Okay.
So it has water, soybean oil, high fructose corn syrup.
There you go, sugar. You would not use it in mayonnaise.
Vinegar, modified cornstarch, eggs, salt, natural flavored mustard, flour, potassium sorbate, and as a preservative, and then paprika, spice strike, garlic, and eggs.
So it's
1 gram of sugar for 1 tablespoon.
Okay, so if you plan on, most people probably don't, because 1 tablespoon you're spreading it thin. So you're probably thinking 2 grams right there.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Mayonnaise shouldn't have sugar in it.
No, it should not have sugar in it. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So for making the switch. Okay. Replacing processed foods with whole foods is a gradual journey. It's not an overnight switch. Here are some tips to make it easier and more enjoyable. So first, start small and celebrate progress. Do not overwhelm yourself by trying to change everything at once. Pick 1 or 2 processed items that you usually consume and find whole food alternatives. For example, swap sugary breakfast cereal for overnight oats with berries and nuts, or replace processed snacks with fresh fruits and vegetables. Celebrate even small victories. Remind yourself you're building a healthier lifestyle. Next, focus on adding, not eliminating. So instead of thinking about what you're giving up, focus on what you're adding to your diet. Experiment with new fruits and new vegetables. Explore whole grains like quinoa and brown rice, and discover the delicious versatility of legumes and nuts. This positive approach will make the transition more enjoyable and sustainable. Embrace simplicity. Whole foods doesn't require complicated recipes or fancy ingredients. They are naturally delicious and packed with nutrients. Learn to enjoy the taste of roasted vegetables, baked sweet potatoes, or grilled chicken breasts with fresh herbs. You'll be surprised at how satisfyingly simple whole food meals can be. Make it convenient. Prepping some whole food ingredients in advance can save time and prevent unhealthy choices when you're short on time. Wash and chop your favorite fruits and vegetables, cook a batch of quinoa or brown rice, or hard boil some eggs for easy snacking. Having healthy options readily available will make it easier to choose them over processed alternatives. I do this instead of doing it on a Sunday, like one night during the week. I'll just have the TV on and I'll do all my cooking then while I'm watching TV and then just freeze it. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, because then I'm still getting my TV fixed, but I'm not sitting down because I'm moving around and it's not interrupting my day. Like I don't want to take an all day Sunday when that's your day off, you know? So
Yeah.
I don't know. The next is get creative in the kitchen. Don't be afraid to experiment and get creative with how you prepare whole foods. Blend smoothies with spinach and fruit, make vegetable fritters, or create your own trail mix with nuts, seeds, and dried fruit. The possibilities are endless, and you'll discover new varieties along the way. I will have to say about smoothies, you can actually, blend them ahead of time and then put them in the ice box. However, if you're putting in spinach or kale, if you wait a day, like a day later, it doesn't taste as good.
No, yeah.
So, I mean, if you're planning on putting kale or spinach in your smoothie, I would suggest drinking that right away. But if you're not, if it's just going to be like fruit and yogurt and stuff, then you can put in the ice box and it'll taste the same.
Yeah. And you can always add ice cubes, crushed ice cubes too.
Yeah.
Nice.
So next, plan your meals like we talked about a little bit about it a minute ago. Taking some time each week to plan your meals and snacks can help you stay on track. Make a shopping list based on your plan and then resist the impulse to buy processed items on a whim. Having a plan will ensure that you have healthy options readily available throughout the week. What I do now is I make a shopping list and I only get what's on the shopping list. I don't do impulse. I kind of go laser focus, go in, pick up what I have on my list, and I don't look at anything else.
Well, that's why I do it online, and then I just look it up. Yeah.
So if you do it online, you'll have to try and, click in further just to bring up the ingredients list. You can look at them.
Yeah.
Involve your friends and family. Making the switch to whole foods is easier when you do it with others. Encourage your family and friends to join you on your journey, share recipes, try new things, and support each other through challenges. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's perfectly normal to slip up on occasion. If you reach for a processed snack, don't beat yourself up. Just get back on track with your next meal. Remember, progress is not linear, so focus on making healthy choices most of the time. Yep. Enjoy the journey. Eating a whole food diet should be a positive experience. Focus on the health benefits you're gaining, the delicious flavors you're discovering, and the energy you're feeling. By making mindful choices and embracing the adventure, you'll find that transitioning to whole foods is not only beneficial, but also enjoyable. Remember, replacing processed foods with whole foods is a long-term commitment. Be patient, celebrate your successes, and most importantly, enjoy the journey. So this week is like what I told you a little bit ago is a grocery shopping challenge. I want you to go to the grocery store with your newfound label reading skills. And I challenge you to choose a specific number of whole food options to replace processed items that you usually buy. When you first begin reading labels, it does take more time initially. So plan this week's grocery tip when you aren't in a rush and take your time. Share your experiences next week. So now I want to thank each of you for joining tonight. I'm hoping these weekly gatherings will enrich our understanding of brain health and strengthen our bond as a community. Let's keep learning, and I look forward to having fun chat next week on how you did.